Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin Compton here. We are in Anchorage, Alaska right now. I just guest posed at the Alaskan Fit Expo. Getting my workouts in on the road. We're here at the Anchorage Athletic Club, doing a little bit of back and biceps today. First thing that we started with is a lat pull down, a hammer strength machine. You'll notice I actually grip on the outside of the machine a little bit. With a little bit wider grip on this machine, I can really feel that, I'm using all my lats, and it takes a lot of my arms out of it because I can drive back with my elbows a little bit further, and I feel like this has helped me out over the last 6 months of incorporating this machine in. Next thing we did was a variation of a lat pull. I've never actually got to use one of these before. Like I said, I'm in Alaska right now, so my hometown gym doesn't have this. I thought it was kind of cool. Wanted to check it out. Had a really good feel to it. Everything. This was a really good machine, so we ended up doing 3 to 4 sets with it. I actually did a little bit more than normal because I liked it, and then I moved on to a pullover machine afterwards. And this is a big staple in most of my workouts with my back day now. I think this has really helped me with my lower lats and just my overall lat thickness, because it takes your arms completely out of it. It takes your lower back out of it. You're basically just isolating everything. You're using the lats for the entire movement. This is a lot of times start with this just to get warmed up, but sometimes I'll put it in the middle. I'll finish with it, but I tend to always incorporate this into every back workout now. Next thing we did was a one-arm row machine, and I really like using the hammer strength stuff because this actually, with the chest-supported row, it takes my lower back out of it. I don't use any legs. I'm not swinging any. It's just a nice controlled motion. It lets me really squeeze on my back a lot. It's just, my back is the biggest area that I've been trying to bring up this year. I want to bring my back and my hamstrings up, so I've really been putting a lot of focus to this. Moved on over to do seated cable rows. Really, there's nothing special here on this exercise. It is what it is. This is also one of my favorites because, it's really nice. It's controlled. I like free weights, but, I feel like the machines definitely do have their place as well. And I like this. This movement has been really smooth and controlled. I get a good stretch when I lean forward and let my lats hang. I get a really good contraction when I come back. So this has also been a staple in most of my back workouts as well. Last thing that I chose to do for back is the variation of a barbell row. And some of you guys have noticed that I do a lot of reverse grip rows with an easy bar. Well, this bar has handles on it that swivel around, so you can adjust your wrist angle. So instead of doing a regular barbell row or a reverse grip row, you can adjust the angle so that it fits your wrist and your body type perfectly. I really wish I had one of these back home, but while I was here, I got a chance to use it. I wanted to utilize it, and this is definitely one of my favorite exercises. I might look into buying one of these bars from my hometown gym. We moved on. That was enough for back. I actually work back twice a week, so that was about all the volume that I hit here now. Moved to a machine, like a machine preacher curl, and I actually have toned the volume down with arms a little bit lately. I have been doing about 6 sets of workouts, so I picked 2 exercises and 3 and 3. So this is pretty standard. I feel like I get a little bit more out of the one arm because I can focus, and I kind of lean to the side a little bit with it, so I get a little bit better contraction. It's not jamming my elbows together. So this is a pretty standard exercise, nothing special, just a one-arm preacher curl. Then lastly, I decided to do some cable curls. I haven't done these in a while. I wanted to mix it up a little bit and throw this into my routine. I usually try to pick different exercises. Sometimes I'll stick to the same thing and make sure that I either move more poundage or more reps or less rest time. Since I'm in a different gym, this is like not my normal setting, so I did the best that I could with it, and I think I had a very effective, back and bicep workout. Now here in Anchorage this weekend, I'm probably sitting around 288 to 290. I'm in the peak of my off season right now. This is about as heavy as I want to be. I feel like I'm going to be 10 to 12 pounds heavier this upcoming year at the Arnold Classic, which is my next show coming up. than I was at the Orlando Pro that I won earlier this year. So I feel like my improvements will definitely speak for themselves when the time comes. I'm very happy for where I'm at, and I plan to continue to make improvements on into the show. My goals for the Arnold, more or less, I want to be bigger, fuller, and, my conditioning was, I think it was about 95% in Orlando, but I still think that, I need to suffer just a little bit more. I don't want to try to, I know that I feel like I have a good structure, but I want to make sure that I am the most shreddedest guy on stage, and that's what I plan to do this year. Whatever I have to do, whatever it takes to get me there. I mean, if I have to, everybody knows me for dieting on high carbs. If I have to go low carbs for the first time in a few years, I'm going to do what I have to do to make that happen. Outside of conditioning, we'll worry about that when the show gets a little closer. My off season, I've just been focusing on. So my back and my hamstrings are the two areas that I feel like I need the most work on. So those, I do back twice a week, and hamstrings, they get their own separate day outside of legs. So I make sure that I've got enough volume on those, and I think, when it comes time to show, I think everybody will see the improvements that I've made.
I play. You gotta watch who you tell that to back home, though. They get offensive by it.
It's a serious thing.
Oh yeah, you know how it is in sports. Man.
Yeah.
People, you mess with somebody's favorite team.
In Michigan, it's Michigan State, or Michigan and Ohio.
I play college ball. I play